And welcome to the Nasboys Sports Podcast. Now, did you know that the Bengals' last playoff win before this season was 1991? The first text message ever sent was in 1992. Someone just sent a text message about the Bengals winning a playoff game for the first time in the history of mankind. So, anyways,
Wow.
guys, welcome to the Nasboys Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, aka Mike Bob Fam 101, with my good friend and co-host Christian, aka C Will.
What's up, guys?
All right, so let's get started with the news. We are going to start off with college football. Obviously, the national championship game was this past Monday or 2 Mondays ago, depending on when you're watching this video. So Christian, what did you think of the game?
Honestly, I thought the first half of it was kind of like a snoozer, even though it was a little exciting. It was just like not a lot of offense.
Right.
And to be honest, I was watching it at a Buffalo Wild Wings, so it was kind of wild in there, but it was fun. And yeah, I was pulling for Georgia to win because I just didn't want to see Alabama win it yet again. But
Right.
Georgia came alive. Their offense came alive in the second half. And it got very entertaining at the end. And of course, the play of the game-stealing interception. But
clock at 4. From the pocket, launching downfield, underthrown and intercepted. Keely Ringo has an escort down the sidelines. All the way to the end zone. And Georgia is going to conquer the Crimson Tide.
Stanton Bennett had plenty of great throws as well. It was just a good game.
Yes, that was a good play indeed. That has to be an honorable mention in the top 10 this week. I forgot to put it in. Silly me. But yeah, it was an okay game. Definitely better than some national championship games, but it was, not as much of the game I was hoping for. It went down to the wire, and then Georgia, they got those 2 scores. Mostly it was a defensive affair, so I would rate the game probably a 7.5 or an 8. Congratulations to Georgia, and I'm sure my cousins were very, very happy that night because I have a cousin and she gets on my dad's nerves because she's always like, "Go Dogs," and my dad was like, "I'm so sick and tired of her doing this, so you know what? Roll Tide."
Wow.
But yeah.
But yeah, college football season's over. It went by fast. And then now we're in the midst of the NFL playoffs. It just started this weekend. And man, there's been a lot of surprises so far.
That is correct. And that is going to be the next topic. Obviously, predictions for the next round and what games are happening. So we're going to kick it off with the game that's happening right now, which is the Chiefs and the Steelers. The Chiefs are beating the Steelers at the moment of recording, 9:44, Sunday, January 16th, 2022, 21-7. That's pretty expected. I'm not going to lie.
Well, the Steelers got up 7-0, and I'm pulling for the Steelers. And I thought we played them pretty well for most of the first half, and then just in the second quarter, our defense has just been lining us up. Mahomes, he's been playing great as usual. 3 touchdown passes. Travis Kelce's had a touchdown.
Position. 4-man rush. Mahomes, he's going deep downfield, wide open. Kelce's going to take it all the way. Touchdown.
Unless you have Patrick Mahomes playing quarterback.
Right, and Kelce on the other side.
It's 21-7, so we'll see if the Steelers can rebound. And before we start recording, I told Mike that if the Steelers win tonight, then I'm going to go run outside shirtless.
We don't have to see the horror of that, ladies and gentlemen.
It's snowing here, so, it's going to be really cold. Charlotte, North Carolina, it's been snowing all day. So, yay.
Yeah, it's also snowing here in Maryland. I'm not going to disclose which part of Maryland, but it is snowing in Maryland right now. Next playoff game I want to talk about is the Bengals and the Raiders. The Bengals beat the Raiders 26-19. Again, another expected win, I would say. Bengals played a great football game. They had some pretty interesting plays, including one from Joe Burrow, which you'll see later. But yeah, the Bengals are legit. I didn't believe it until at the beginning of the season, and now They turned around from the worst team in the NFL, or one of the worst teams in the NFL, number one pick contender, to one of the best in my opinion. So hats off to the Bengals. I hope that they have a lot more success in the coming future.
The Bengals, I knew they were going to be good this year, but I didn't think they'd be this good. I knew that this game between them and the Raiders is going to be a great game. Both of the teams have great offenses, great quarterbacks, and talented wide receivers as well.
Right.
And Jamar Chase, he's been huge for the Bengals as well. Him and Joe Burrow have been a dynamic duo.
Again.
And the game came down to a little bit of controversy with the refs. But other than that, I thought that the Bengals were going to win by 2 or 3 touchdowns, but they won by 7.
Right.
So we'll see what they do in the next one.
Yeah, and then next up we got Bills and the Patriots next up. The Bills killed them 47-17. I expected this one to be a great game. The first game, the Patriots shut them down with the run-only offense. Then the Bills figured it out. It was a little bit closer, but they won. And now the Bills, they figured out the running offense, shut that completely down, and they were just off to the races. Yeah. So expected win for the Bills, but I wish it was a little bit closer. Not really many of these games, except for the Bengals and the Raiders and the 49ers and the Cowboys, have been competitive so far.
I thought it was going to be a close game as well. And with the Patriots, they've been playing good against the Bills this year. And I didn't think they'd get beat by 30 points, especially in a playoff game. And I'm sure Bill Belichick was pretty upset about it. Josh Allen had an amazing game. He had 5 touchdowns, 308 yards. So the Bills are looking pretty strong at the moment. And one thing I thought was kind of cool, the linemen were celebrating the touchdowns, rolling around in the end zone. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then next up, we got the Buccaneers beating the Eagles 31-15. Eat crap, Eagles. L-goals, whatever you want to call them. Die, Eagles, die. Cry, Eagles, cry. So, yeah.
That's pretty strong words, Mike. Philadelphia is my 3rd favorite team in the NFL, and I knew going into this, going up against the Buccaneers, it'd be very hard to win. But losing by 16 isn't too bad. But there's just a lot of mistakes on the Eagles' end, a couple turnovers and all that. Brady, of course, 271 yards, very accurate. I think he only had maybe 12 incompletions, but he had 2 touchdowns as well. So Buccaneers, I think everyone expected them to win the game.
Right. And then the 49ers and the Cowboys, probably the most interesting playoff game so far. 49ers were up 23-7, and then they just let that lead dwindle away, and the Cowboys came back. They were within striking distance, about a score or 2 away, and then 49ers let that slip with that near first down.
To go their way at the end of this.
Here they come around with Debo, and blockers in front. He can close out the game, and he does, if they give him the spot. And the spot is right on the marker.
Oh my goodness, Kyle Shanahan using the leverage against everybody. And let's see the spot.
There's
see
the
if his knee. He stays up.
Oh.
I think it's going to be hard to overturn it. If his knee wasn't down earlier, obviously you got to take a look. But what a play call. The boy wonders, not so much a boy anymore with that gray beard he's got. But he is definitely a wonder, and he's shown it today. And how about...
Let's see where the knee is on the ground right there. Is it?
That could be.
The nose of it's right.
But where is that first down
marker.
exactly,
Well, this looks like, just looking at the orange tab, it looks like it's just beyond that line.
Yeah, you have a real chance.
But it came up short, and then the refs started kind of, I don't know if they were trying to sell the game or if there was actual penalties on the 49ers, and I don't know anything about football, but there were some bad calls, and one in particular, the Trent Williams false start call,
Alex Mack to snap it to Garoppolo. 4th and inches. They move Williams to the right side. There is the sneak, and he's successful again. And there's a flag down.
Cowboys are getting this ball back. It's going to be a penalty on the Niners for not getting set. He just rushed it.
False start. Offense number 71.
Wow.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
It's Williams
Just has to wait. Remember I told you earlier about CeeDee Lamb and Dak?
Yep.
It's them together. You got to hurry up and get in it, and the quarterback's got to wait for you to get set.
When he was trying to get set and he was not even moving, he was just trying to get set. He moved to try to get a better position on the defender and then went down what you're supposed to do, and they called that a false start or something like that. So that was a terrible call and made it seem like the refs were trying to go in favor of the Cowboys.
Well, I'll say this: Cowboys. I'm very disappointed because the Cowboys, I thought, were a team that could make it far in the postseason this year. I honestly thought so. Their offense was way better than usual, and their defense has been playing better too than they had been. But the 49ers, I'll be honest with you, Mike, I had no idea they were in the postseason. I had no clue. I thought they were like as bad as the Seahawks this year. But apparently the 49ers are okay. And they basically had an interception towards the end of the game.
Prescott. Oh, intercepted. Picked off. K'Wan Williams makes the play. Whoa.
Oh, Dylan blown away down there.
Debo Samuel, former South Carolina alumni. He's one of my favorite players, but he ended up scoring a touchdown at the end.
Oh, no. And it all on the ground. Debo Samuel finds some space. He's fast. No, he's really fast. Debo Samuel into the throw.
Touchdown, baby. Yeah.
To give him a 6-point win. And, you know, Cowboys, a lot of hype went into that. A lot of fans were thinking it's going to be an easy win. And they got shocked. I have a coworker that's a huge Cowboys fan. I know he's going to be very upset about it when I next see him. But, yeah, I know, like, a lot of people rushing into the stadium, too. Like, there's a viral video of fans rushing into the stadium, just running over people, just trying to get seats. It was ridiculous. But yeah, props to the 49ers, but I don't want them to go any farther because I'm not a 49ers fan. So
right. I thought that the Cowboys were going to win this game, but you know, it's the Cowboys, so it's to be expected, but they did a decent job coming back. So yeah. So now we got one more game, but it's not till Monday night. It's the Cardinals and the Rams. I said this last episode. I'm going with the Rams. Christian, who do you got?
You know, I was thinking, you know, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, 49ers, I didn't think they were in the postseason. So I'm surprised that the Cardinals and Rams are also in it. If the 49ers are in it, that's just, you know, 3 teams from the same division. But
well, of
honestly,
course. Sorry, go ahead.
I have to go with the Rams one. I think the Rams are going to win because they have the home field advantage. Cardinals have been very inconsistent, and Stafford's been playing really good for the Rams. So is Sony Michel. So, and Cooper Kupp as well, one of the best wide receivers in the league. I think the Rams are going to win this, and I think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about a blowout because they were both considered Super Bowl contenders at the beginning of the season, but I definitely agree with the Rams taking the W.
Super Bowl contenders?
Yeah, remember that? Remember in the beginning of the season? No?
No, dude. I don't remember that.
I don't think so now, of course. I think it's either going to be between the Chiefs and the Packers.
Bro, imagine the Buccaneers make it again. I'm going to be livid. Because I'm just tired of seeing I mean, I'm not hating or nothing, but I'm just tired of seeing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl every year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I agree.
and all the Buccaneers bandwagons would be like, "Oh yeah, we're going to win another one! Woo! Yay!" You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But,
I agree. All right, let's get the predictions for the next round. Starting out with the Titans and the Bengals. I'm gonna go with the Titans on this. You know, they got Henry back. I think they're gonna do a pretty good job. They did well even without Henry, which I was surprised about. So I'm gonna go Titans beating the Bengals and ending their run, unfortunately.
Bro, I am surprised by that pick. The thing is with the Titans, they have done pretty well in the running game. You know, they've been good running the ball even without Henry. But the Bengals just have a way better offense. And I don't think the Titans defense is going to be able to stop them worth anything. I think the Bengals are going to win huge. I think they're going to win 35-7 or something like that.
Ooh. I mean, you got a good point. The Bengals do have a better offense, but we'll see what happens.
And a better defense. So
next up is the Bills versus either the Chiefs or the Steelers. Most likely it's going to be the Chiefs. If it's the Chiefs, then I'm going to go with the Chiefs. And if it's the Steelers, I'm going with the Bills.
I have to say the same exact thing. And the Chiefs and Bills always seem to play each other in the postseason the last couple of years. So I wouldn't be surprised, if that happens again. But I'm hoping Steelers can win. I'm hoping they can win. But
yeah, I probably put that score somewhere when we were talking about that. So you guys know the answer.
Yeah, the Steelers are the underdogs. So.
And then we got the Packers and the 49ers. I'm going with the Packers easily. I want them to win it all.
I think Packers are going to win this game. I think it'll be closer than some people think. It depends on if the Packers are at home. If the Packers are at home, I think they'll win by at least 10 or so.
Right. And then we got the winner of the Rams and the Cardinals versus the Buccaneers. I am going to go with the Buccaneers no matter who it is.
I'm sorry, Sap. I thought I heard someone knocking on my door. Can you say who the teams were again?
I said it's the Rams, the winner of the Rams and the Cardinals versus the Buccaneers. I'm going with the Buccaneers no matter what.
I really want the Rams or the Cardinals to beat the Buccaneers. I really do, bro. But if it's the Rams, I think the Rams have a better shot at beating the Buccaneers. Now, the Rams have played Brady before, and that game was a very low-scoring game, very defensive game. And I don't think – the Buccaneers do have a decent defense, but I don't know if it'll be close. I'll say that. It'll probably be a very close game, maybe go to overtime.
I mean, yeah, you are correct with that. The Rams did beat them the last time in a shocker, and Brady was very upset that they lost. But I think that they're able to figure it out, and maybe they could even beat the Rams. We'll see, especially during playoff time.
Yeah.
All right, so now here's some more news. We got coach firings. The Dolphins fired Brian Flores, which could cost them Deshaun Watson. I'm reading everywhere that that was a bad move for them. I'm not too sure because I don't follow the Dolphins too closely, but they seem like they're getting better and, they're getting closer to a playoff spot. But Deshaun was really what they needed. And, with that firing and that could potentially cost them Deshaun, that's not a good move.
Yeah, I don't really have anything different to say.
Texans fired David Coley. I don't know how I feel about this because their Texans are still not good. Obviously, they're the top pick in the draft every year. So there's not really much you can do to fix them except a full-on rebuild.
Yeah. I don't even know who I've never heard of him before.
I know, I've never heard of him either.
He's firing Vic Fangio. I don't know who he is either.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that move also, unless Denver really wants to make like a different push to try to make themselves better because they got top.
Imagine Denver just hires Urban Meyer. or the Texans.
That's true.
And then Deshaun comes in. Did imagine the Texans get Urban Meyer and then they get Deshaun back? Like how much the media would go insane.
Right. Bears finally fire Matt Nagy. Everybody wanted this to happen, even if you were a non-Bears fan. So I'm glad that they did this. That was the right move for them. And finally, the Vikings fire Mike Zimmer. I think that was a good move for them. They weren't really going anywhere. They were kind of on the fence of being a playoff team and also in mediocrity. And that may have just helped them out a lot. So we'll see what kind of coach they can get.
Well, the Vikings, I feel like Zimmer was a good coach, but he had been there for long enough. And, I'm not surprised he's leaving. And someone else they're looking at trying to get another candidate like Doug Peterson, which I think Doug Peterson would be a huge addition for them. I think if he goes there to the Bears, I think that would be an absolute win for them because Pearson, I feel like, has always been a great coach.
I completely agree.
And he's a nice guy too. He's a Christian, and I just think he'd be a good person for the locker room,
right?
And on and off the field as well.
Right. So the Broncos were also listed to get Doug, but their leading candidate is Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. The Lions fire offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn. Don't have anything to say about that. The Seahawks, Geno Smith has been arrested on suspicion of a DUI. What is with all these players and DUIs?
I'm telling you, man, a lot of these players that people look up to and all that, they don't know how to act, and they just make horrible decisions, and they just think that they won't get caught doing stuff. And Geno Smith had some controversy over the years, but I thought he had finally gotten rid of being out of controversies. But here he is back again, making another bad mistake.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because Geno Smith was one of my favorite players, like especially when he was in college with West Virginia. And now, he joined Seahawks, and it's just sad, bro.
It is very sad. Quandre Diggs suffered a broken fibula and a dislocated ankle, also from the Seahawks. Ouch.
Yeah, that's bad to have both at once, It reminds me of Darren Sproles. There was one year where Darren Sproles broke his arm and broke his ACL at the same time.
Oh God.
It was like 4 years ago, I think.
4, yeah.
I remember that game. I was watching it.
Amazon will be taking over Thursday Night Football and wants Marshawn Lynch to be the host of the show. I mean, that's not a bad pick. He's got a good personality. He's been doing a lot of commercials. So I don't know. I would watch it. It's definitely something to rival Manning Cast. So we'll see how that goes if they hire Marshawn.
No, my thing is right. Amazon taking over Thursday Night Football. I'm not surprised. They're a huge company. Huge. And my thing is right. I just want commentators for it. Commentators, not people who will act up and, for the entertainment and stuff like that. Now, Marshawn Lynch, he was one of my favorite players. He played for Seahawks, one of the best running backs, arguably, of all time. Nevertheless, Lynch, he's also had a history of language on camera. And that's what made me upset about some of the guests that were going on the Manning's Monday Night Football shows on ESPN2. With some of the guests on there, I'm like, they're just going to act up and say stuff that doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, whenever I heard about Lynch possibly being a host, I was just like, no, please. Because I just feel like there should be other people that should get an opportunity to commentate an NFL game other than a former NFL player.
Right, I agree with that.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the NFL definitely does milk a lot of these players, like Drew Brees, for example. He's on NBC, and it's his first year of retirement.
Yeah. So I know they're trying, Greg Olsen was another one they were trying to get, but Olsen didn't want to do that. And Luke Kuechly was someone, too, they were trying to get. So,
Yeah. Do you have any other news besides the topics that I've listed?
In the NFL now.
Or no, any other sport that I have not listed?
Well, we got the NBA up next. We got basketball stuff we're about to get into, NHL. So
yeah, let's see some NHL.
yeah, so the NHL, they're finally back after they had like a week or two where they didn't play. But even though they did that, there is players back on the COVID list, and the Toronto Maple Leafs just put 3 players on their COVID list. And basically also they revealed the All-Star rosters for the NHL All-Star game, and there's no Sidney Crosby, which is very surprising. I did not expect him not to be on there. And then the same thing with I think the All-Star game's on the 5th. But there's like another guy, I'm trying to remember what his name was, that should have been on there. It's like Panarin or something like that. Artemi Panarin, that's his name. I thought he should have been on there, but he wasn't. The New York Islanders, Ross Johnson was suspended 3 games for a check to the head. And it cost him $15,000. He's a 6'5" left wing. And the Islanders have been struggling this year. They've been pretty bad. And they're basically last in Metropolitan Division, 11, 13, and 6. And regarding the standings, Florida Panthers are still on top of the Eastern Conference, but the Lightning and Maple Leafs have been doing well. Hurricanes still up top of the Metropolitan, same thing with the Rangers. Rangers have been huge. They're on a 2-game winning streak. And I kind of mentioned this last time we did like NHL news, but the Montreal Canadiens, they were like one of the best teams last year, and they made a run at the Stanley Cup, and they're last this year. It's crazy. They've only won 7 games, and they made it to the Stanley Cup last year. I'm just like, what? They're on a 5-game losing streak. The Nashville Predators have actually moved up to 2nd in the Western Central. Colorado Avalanche moved up. Vegas Golden Knights, and one team that has surprised me recently has been the Los Angeles Kings. They've been doing bad the last 3 years, but now they're actually 2nd in the Pacific, and they've won 4 games in a row. So that's a team that's on fire right now. In regard to stat leaders, Alex of Cat, I messed up his name so bad. Cat, yeah, I can't believe I can't not pronounce that. But he has 54 points, which is tied for the most in the league with Leon Draisaitl from the Edmonton Oilers. New York Rangers goalie Igor Shesterkin, I think says how do you say it? He's now on top of the goaltending stats, overtaking Frederick Anderson from the Carolina Hurricanes. But yeah, that's all I got the NHL.
All right, so next up is the NBA. The Nuggets were going to trade Bol to the Pistons, but the deal got voided because Bol did not pass his physical. That's a very interesting reason for the trade to not go through, and I thought that was kind of an L for the Nuggets. I mean, he's not a bad player. He's pretty athletic, and he has a great size. He's like 7'5" or something like that.
He's over 7 foot. I think he's 7'2".
Yeah, or something like that. He's a good player for his size, but I don't know how much playing time he gets. So that would have been a W for the Pistons, but they missed out.
I don't get how he felt his physical. I don't know why or the reason why. So yeah, I'm just surprised by it.
The Wizards are pursuing Pistons star forward Jeremy Grant. This is not a terrible move, I would say. We have Kyle Kuzma already, and he's doing really, really good. He's getting a double-double almost every night. And then the small forward position, that's a little weak. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Rui Hachimura. So Grant could probably help that because you can play Kuzma at the 3 and then Grant at the 4. And all they want really is picks. So I hope we don't have to give up anything extra besides picks. So I would be down to make this trade. If it helps the Wizards out, I would be down to make this trade.
Well, the thing is with Jeremy Grant, I can see why he wants to leave Detroit. Detroit's Garbo, you know what I'm saying? They've just been bad the last couple of years. And And Kyle Kuzma's been playing really well. I'm actually surprised at how well he's played this season.
I am too.
Considering what happened last year. And yeah, I think part of it has to do with him just not being in the LA spotlight. I feel like Kuzma's done better.
Right.
Jeremy Grant would be a big addition for Washington. But I don't know how much that would really help. I know it would make them have better depth. But what would they trade him for?
Again, picks and maybe young assets. They have another center named Thomas Bryant they could trade. But I don't want to. The thing is, like, I don't want to get rid of any of that.
What about Rua Hachimura?
I mean, I would get rid of him. I would get rid of him, but then you don't have a good forward off the bench. And if you put Rui Hachimura on the bench, then that's good for the power forward position because Davis Bertans sucks. Well, they have Anthony Gill. He's not bad. Now that I think about it.
Anthony Gill's pretty decent, but like you just move Jeremy Grant to power forward, you'd have Kuzmits at small forward. And what's the other guy's name? Gafford?
Denny Abdia.
I think Gafford. What?
They have another forward, Denny Abdia, and they have Corey Kispert from Gonzaga. Gafford is a center.
Wizards have Gafford too.
Yeah, the Wizards have Gafford. He's their starting center right now.
He could just start at center. So, they would be fine if they got rid of Hachimura.
Right, You're right. But I want Hachimura off the bench. But if it's for Grant, then I would trade him. I know a lot of Wizards fans would be upset. Personally, I would be somewhat upset because, like I said, the bench depth at power forward is not great. Our bench depth at center, however, is great. We have, in my opinion, one of the best center rotations in the league.
I'll be honest. Speaking of upset, John Collins, I don't know what's going on with him, but he apparently is frustrated with the Hawks. Have you seen that?
I have. I was just about to talk about that. I'm not sure really because he has a pretty decent role with the Hawks. He's a backup center for Clint Capella, I believe. Or does he start?
He starts usually at power forward.
Wow. Well, why would you be upset if you're starting at power forward? The Hawks are not a bad team. They're near the play-in or they're in the playoffs. I don't know why you'd be upset about that, but you know what? Get out of Atlanta and see what happens. He's a good player. They could get something for him.
I think he's mainly just frustrated them losing because he's not used to them losing. And the Hawks are out of the playoffs right now. They're 17-25 and a 5-game losing streak. So I can see why he's a little upset. But nevertheless, I don't think he should leave. I think the Hawks are still pretty decent. But speaking of doing decent, the Charlotte Hornets are back in the playoff contention. We had a really good week last week. We beat the Bucks and we beat the 76ers, but we lost Orlando. Like that, does that make any sense? I don't see how that makes any sense. Because we beat the Bucks who killed the Warriors the other night, and we beat the 76ers, and we just lose to the worst team in the league. I don't get it. But nevertheless, we're still 7th in the East, and the Wizards are 9th. They fell back a little bit, but Toronto's been making some moves too. They've moved to 8. Cleveland's still hanging in there at number 6. Philly's moved up to 5. And Miami's actually moved back up to 3rd in the East. So props to Miami.
Yeah, Christian, we're in the same boat because the Wizards, they'll get blown out by Orlando, but then they'll contend with like Utah and nearly beat them, or Chicago and nearly beat them. So
this makes sense.
Next up, we got the Mavericks, Lakers, Knicks, and Hornets have all shown interest in Pacers center Miles Turner. That's a good move for pretty much all those franchises, I would say. Miles Turner is a pretty underrated player. He's a good blocker. He can shoot a little bit. I would definitely want to pick him up for sure. He can play center and power forward.
Yeah, like if we get him on Charlotte, bro, that would be so amazing because we need a center, bro. I mean, we have a decent like lineup as it is, but we need like a star center to be like serious playoff contenders. If we get Turner, that'd be huge, absolutely huge for us. The Lakers, of course, are going to try to go after another star. doesn't surprise me, especially since Davis is so injury prone. The Knicks, they need a little bit more help. And then the Mavericks, they already have plenty of centers. I don't know why they would try to get him.
Right. And then next up, we got the Magic have extended the contracts of President Jeff Weltman and General Manager John Hammond through the 2025-2026 season. If your team is so bad, why would you extend the contracts of those guys? Orlando is stupid. They're going to struggle for another few years. Mark my words.
Bro, that's like, I don't even know what to say, man. They're sitting it for like another 5 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're tripping.
Speaking of tripping, the Sixers are getting increasingly desperate to trade Ben Simmons, that they have added Tobias Harris to trade talks. They were not interested in a deal with the Kings that would have included De'Aaron Fox. They also have gotten numerous offers from the Timberwolves, who offered everything except Anthony Davis and Karl Anthony Towns. The Sixers may also want to trade Harris because they want to make a run at James Harden.
I'm telling you, bro, it's a clown show with our management in Philly. And it honestly is. It's like almost like every month we have to talk about Ben. Like every month there has to be Ben Simmons rumors, bro. It's annoying. And with Harris, he's my favorite player. I don't want him to leave. I don't want him to get traded. I mean, he's had a little bit of slack in the stats recently, but he's still pretty good player. He got exposed tonight by Charlotte, but he's better than Simmons, and he's really good starting forward. Why get rid of Harris? And for another guard, we already have like 5 guards. Like, what is our management delusional or something? I don't know, dude. And Karl Anthony Towns, he would have to play power forward or something like that because we already have Embiid.
No. They already. No, they don't. They didn't offer Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. Those
I know that. I'm just saying, like, we don't need another center, and we don't need any more guards. What we need is more backup big men. We don't. I feel like our lineup's already as good as it is. We were on an 8-game winning streak until we lost to Charlotte. My main favorite team, and then there's Philly's my second favorite team. The real OGs know that. But nevertheless, I just think it's a clown show going on at the moment. You hate to see it.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Your management is really, really dumb. There's been like at least 3 or 4 good offers that the Sixers could have taken, and that was too much for Simmons. And they still didn't take it because they think they can get a caliber player, like all-star caliber player like Damien Lillard or Bradley Beal. Like, get out of here with that.
And Ben Simmons like, I want more money. Let me rain the cash. I'm a pro with 4 houses throughout the U.S. I need to pay my bills, and I need to get the gender. I have to get gender back, not gender. You know what I'm saying? I have to get Jenner back. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense, honestly.
Yeah, Ben, Jenner is Devin Booker's problem now.
He's apparently too depressed to play, too. Just, I don't get it.
I mean, really,
he's like the Antonio Brown. He's like the Antonio Brown of the NBA. He's like the Antonio Brown of the NBA, but without, like, hitting women and stuff.
Right. Rui Hachimura, he was having a lot of mental health issues. That's why he wasn't there for the first, 2 months of the season, 3 months of the season. So I can't talk with Ben, but Ben is a clown. That's all I got to say for the most part, but not for mental health. That I'm not going to I don't know what to say about him. He sucks.
And speaking of De'Aaron Fox, you mentioned him a little bit ago. He got ejected from today's game after a very dirty flagrant 2 foul.
By the rookie for the block. Matthews blocked by Fox. Fox was swiping for the ball, and Matthews is hurt.
Feel that tomorrow for sure.
Harrison Matthews out of Lipscomb, 25-year-old, taking a hard fall here.
Following plays under review to see if it meets the criteria for a flagrant foul.
David Guthrie coming to the score table, see if this meets the criteria for a flagrant 1 or 2. I mean, I'm guessing that's going to be a common foul right now because he didn't.
Ruled as a flagrant penalty 2. There's wind up.
It was bad. You need to look at that play whenever you get the chance.
Yeah, I will when I edit this video. Donovan Mitchell may want to leave Utah to play for either the Heat or the Knicks. I mean, I got mixed feelings on this because on one hand, Utah is a good team. They're near championship contention, but they just can't get it done every year. But to the Knicks are nowhere near a championship contender. If anything, they're a play-in team. The Heat, maybe. I could see the Heat being a sleeper pick for the championship, but I wouldn't leave Utah personally. I think Utah's a pretty solid team.
I don't know what Mitchell's on because, Utah's doing good this year. They're 4th in the West. They were really good last year, and they have a good team overall. They have a great defense. They have a great bench, and their offense is really good as well.
Right.
Yes, they have plenty of guards, but nevertheless, the Heat have plenty of guards as well. Like, where's he going to fit in with their lineup? They're going to have to give up a lot to get Mitchell. And then the Knicks are going to have to get rid of a lot to get Mitchell. So
right.
It's an L. It's an L move, in my opinion.
That is a complete L. Let's see. We got Cam Reddish has been traded to the Knicks in exchange for Kevin Knox. Not a bad move for Atlanta. They weren't really utilizing him too much because they have a lot of forwards like Bogdanovich, Herter. So I can understand why they traded Reddish. So maybe he can shine now with RJ.
I find it funny that they're trading and they face each other in the first round of the playoffs last year, and they're trading 2 of their guards to each other.
Yeah, basically. The Knicks could trade Mitchell Robinson. I don't have an opinion on that. I don't really know what to say about that.
Why? He's had some inconsistencies, but he's a good player. Why get rid of him?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Damien Lillard went through surgery for his abdominal injury and could miss the season. Rest in peace, my fantasy lineup in one league. But yeah, prayers to Dame. We'll see what happens.
I'll be honest with you. Damien Lillard being out for injury doesn't surprise me. He's just been too injury prone. But bro, your fantasy lineup is you've lost 2 games in a row?
No. This isn't the league that you're in. It's a different league.
Oh, I thought you had him on your current lineup.
No, my current lineup is my star is Steph Curry. But yeah, let's not talk about my fantasy team right now. It's imploding.
But I'll be honest with you, I lost 4 players this week for injury and stuff too. So
okay,
I'm going into today. I was basically tied in points with my bro Caden. So it depends on tonight's matchups if I won and if my winning streak continues. But yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna mention all the players I have out. Marcus Smart. Let's see what's wrong with him. If it was low. Here we go. COVID-19 protocols. So he's probably going to be out for another few days. Oh, we got Bogdan Bogdanovich. Oh, he has a knee injury. Very injury prone. So I might drop him for Alex Caruso. Let's see. We got DeAndre Ayton now. He's day to day. What's wrong with DeAndre Ayton? Oh, right ankle sprain. One of my only centers. Great. Got Steph Curry's out now. Let's see. Oh, his hand hurts because he shoots a lot of threes. Great. And then Paul George. I fleeced somebody for Paul George with Brandon Ingram, torn ligament. And then Jeremy Grant on my IR right now. He's resumed working out. So maybe my fantasy team can come back. But yeah, my fantasy team is in shambles right now. I'm losing 1,016 to 745. Not great.
Oh man, you're getting destroyed. That's sad.
Do you have to remind me, Christian? You have to remind me.
Well, I'll be honest with you, those are big losses for your fantasy team. Mine, I lost Clint Capella, Kelly Oubre, Dylan Brooks. There's a couple. There's 2 more, but yeah, and also Caden tried to trade 3 players for Trae Young. And I'm why did I give him Trae Young? He's the healthiest guard I have. Why did I get rid of him?
Wait. What's the trade?
It was Sadiq Bey and 2 other backups.
No. No.
I think one was Malcolm Brogdon,
No.
though. I think another one was Brogdon, but yeah.
No, I wouldn't accept that. Brogdon's a good player. Good. Don't accept that. Brogdon is a good player, but not Trae Young level. I would only trade Trae Young if it was like Steph Curry, Damien Lillard, or a player of that caliber, not Malcolm Brogdon.
We would trade for Lillard because he's out.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about if he's healthy.
Yeah, I know.
But Caden, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I fleeced you with Brandon Ingram for Paul George.
Yeah, that was an interesting trade when I saw that.
And then like the day after he got hurt, I'm like, oh, shoot. He's back now, I think, though.
Well, speaking of basketball, we got college basketball we got to talk about, too. A lot of upsets this weekend. There was so many upsets. It was ridiculous this weekend. So, first off, number 10 Michigan State, one of my favorite teams, got beat by Northwestern. So that surprised me. They lost by 2 points, and Michigan State was number 10 at the time. They're probably going to drop. Seton Hall got beat by Marquette. Seton Hall was number 20, but Big East, there's a lot of good teams in the Big East this year. Kentucky absolutely destroyed Tennessee on Saturday, 107-79, which I did not think it was to be that big a blowout. I thought it was going to be close. Texas Tech, number 19, Texas Tech lost to Kansas State, which Kansas State, I didn't think were that good at basketball. They lost 11 to them. Arkansas beat LSU, who was number 12. Another shocker. And then one of the craziest plays of the weekend was an upset where, I don't know if it's an upset because Memphis hasn't been that good this year, but East Carolina beat Memphis on a buzzer beater to win that game. East Carolina is actually doing really decent at basketball this year. Baylor, number 1 Baylor, got beat by Oklahoma State. That was probably the biggest upset of the weekend. Alabama, I feel like it's been overrated because they've lost to teams they shouldn't have, and they lost to another one of those teams, which is Mississippi State. But Mississippi State has won 6 of their last 7, so maybe Mississippi State could get ranked. They only have 4 losses. I think they should have that. And then, of course, my Oregon Ducks, they beat number 5 USC 79-69, which is a pretty nice number. But yeah, that's what I got with college basketball in the standings. Gonzaga's still 2. Auburn's been really good. They have 1 loss, and they moved up 5 spots, number 4. Purdue dropped 4 spots. They lost to a couple bad teams this past week. But most of the standings were the same as last time we reviewed. Illinois is 25. Providence still up there. Xavier moved to 17. They moved up 5 spots. And probably one of the biggest movers was Wisconsin. They moved up 10 spots, number 13. Wisconsin's been pretty good recently. They only have 2 losses. So, yeah, I think college basketball, the season's getting more exciting and it's getting close to March Madness. And I'll be definitely watching more college basketball. Now, sure. College football is over. So, yeah, that's all I got with that.
For sure. All right, so now let's talk about the top 10 plays of the week.
Woo!
Coming in at number 10, Eastern Carolina, like you were saying, Suggs, I'm not sure his first name, bank shot game winner.
Suggs. Yes! Yes! Pirates win! Wait for the official word.
And you're going to hear it, and it's going to be good.
What a win for East Carolina.
For sure. But at number 9, we got Michigan State shovel pass, which led to this game winner.
Joey Hauser hitting the game-winning shot, and it was a moment his teammates know that Joey deserves all the way.
Check this out.
In at number 8, Tampa Bay, punt, fumble, recovery. Jalen Reagor sucks, and he has no hands.
Short punt. Hangs up high as much. Reagor could not haul it in. Bucks think they have it.
number 7, we see the high-flying John Morant with an insane rebound. He's like Superman.
Avery Bradley with the deflection against Bang. Oh, Morant! What an incredible block!
Real play by John Morant.
I mean, unreal is right. This guy, just look where he is when he catches it at the top of the square.
In at number 6, Shaq Barrett tipping interception.
Extra men on the rush. Eagles pick it up. Hurts throws, and it's picked. Intercepted by Shaq Barrett. And he's rumbling all the way to the 36-yard line. An interception in the 3rd.
That's an interesting selection. I would have put it a little bit higher. Dallas Goedert comes in at number 5 with this flying catch. I feel like this definitely should have been at number 5.
Hit one and be so big, you gotta go berserk.
Okay, sometimes you need a friend.
In at number 4, Joe Burrow, insane near out of bounds pass for a touchdown. You couldn't even tell if he was on the line when it first happened.
5 in the pattern, Burrow. Tries to keep it alive, scrambles. Throws it back in the end zone, but was he out of bounds first or is it a touchdown? I think he was out of bounds. They're discussing it. Caught in the back by Boyd. Conversation on the sideline here for the moment. No signal yet. Jerome Boger, the referee's over here on the sideline. As they are in conversation, was he out when he threw?
The result of the play, touchdown.
Touchdown!
Yeah. And at number 3, we got Andre Iguodala with this insane pass.
By here in the 2nd round, another. That's a 3rd steal by Iguodala. What a pass! And Lee banks it home the other way.
In at number 2, LaMelo Ball with another insane pass between his legs.
LaMelo, the rip away, clean air, Miles Bridges! How about that?
Dude, that was like my favorite play of the week. It was insane. You love to see it. But at number 1, we actually have a tie at number 1. One of them was the Micah Hyde insane stolen touchdown interception.
Jones had just 129 yards rushing this season. Jones pump, rifle downfield, intercepted, sliding catch made by for the pick
from the other night. But another one too was Katie Ambrose. She's a female basketball player for, I forgot, I think she plays for St. Francis. But she basically was like trying to save the ball and threw up a one-handed shot falling out of bounds, and it went in. I thought that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I put that as a tie because 1, I didn't have enough space for the Micah Hyde one, and I didn't feel like looking for more plays. And for 2, I didn't know if the Katie Ambrose shot was from this week, so I just played it safe and just put a tie there. But yeah, both were amazing plays. That will close out today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow our socials. Get us to 69 subscribers. Christian mentioned the number 69. We're trying to get to that nice number, so please help our immature behinds get our number. We will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Peace.